Welcome to our 2019 Family Conference. We are so glad you're here. As I said, we're sold out. This is the largest conference we've ever had. And I also want to let you know that we're also joined by people who are joining us on a webcast. So there are people all over the world watching this right now. So we're super excited about that. Unlike most conferences you're going to go to, we're going to tell you to leave your cell phones on. Just make them quiet if you can. We're doing that because some of you have family members that are going to be hanging out in the Silver Bell Pavilion today. That way your kids can text you and we can stay in contact. You might have kids in the daycare, and that way we can just all stay in contact and get each other if we need you. Also, we're doing something different because it's webcast. You use your camera to take a picture of that. That's called a QR code. And if you take a picture of that, that's going to bring you to a website so you can ask questions. Our tech team in the back is going to take those questions and add them to the questions from the people that are watching us around the world, and they're going to show up here in this little monitor. You can also add little comments like, "Way to go, Carol." That's always welcome too. Woohoo! And I guess I should introduce myself. I'm Carol Meerschaert. I am the Executive Director of AXYS. Thank you. So just want to give you time to get that set up so that every session in this room today will be using that QR code. Also want to let you know in these sessions here what happens when you take a picture with that code and you type it in. We get to keep a copy of it. So that way, if we don't have a chance to get to your question, we can give it to the speakers after and they can answer your questions later. So thanks for that. So we're going to start with a little poll. So if you're on this website with the QR code, you're going to see a little poll and to ask, where are you? Because we're going to try to get a little thing to find out where people are or where they're from. Yep, so you place your vote. Thank you, Gail. It says place your vote. And when you go in there and you can say, where are you right now? I'm sitting here in the room with you. Or from people from all over the world. The first group I really want to thank is our board of directors. They work tirelessly for this organization year-round. And I want you to know that all of our board members have experience with X and Y variations, either because they're living with a family member with one of the conditions or because they are someone who has one of these conditions. So I want to thank our board chair, Gary Glissman. So if the board members could stand up and just turn around and wave hi to everyone. And Larry. Just everybody can stand up. Aaron, Kevin Schindler couldn't be here. Myra Bird, our past chair. Where's Hannah and Ginny? I see Gail, Cheryl, Andrea, Bill and Carrie. Bill I haven't seen. Is Bill here? Woo! And Carrie couldn't be here. We thank you all for your service. You do so much to this organization. I also want to thank you to our host clinic here at Emory University, especially Sharon Close and Amy Talboy, who do so much to help us year-round. And thanks to everyone at this hotel who's just tried to do everything to give us a great stay. Want to let you know what they've done for us. If they've set up a continuous beverage service. So if, like out here down at the end of the hallway, there's coffee, tea, water. We have lemonade iced tea all throughout the day to keep us hydrated. Partially because we're in hot Atlanta and partially because we're all going to be talking all day, right? So we're going to need to stay hydrated. I want to thank the sponsors of our conference, Claris Therapeutics, who we've worked very closely with to help get a new version of testosterone approved by the FDA. So that's great news for everyone. I'm sure you saw that. And AXYS, they're our platinum sponsors. I want to thank our other sponsors, A&M Healthcare, the XXYY Project, Ginny and Al Cover in memory of Ralph Cover, and Landmark College. And I want to let you know that Fern from Landmark College is available to have one-on-one conversations with you. She'll be here all day and then into tonight. So if you want to meet up with her at the table out there, she's happy to do that with you. I want to thank our friends at NIH and the National Institute of Mental Health, Nemours Children's Health System, and Stuart Hassan Studios. Stuart's our photographer. He's working with Aaron. If any of you would like a family portrait taken, there we go. We're in the Basswood room. So you can sign up, and we're going to do some group condition photographs right after the condition specific socialization activities, doesn't roll off the tongue, at noon. So we'd love to get a bunch of group photos. We'd love to have some photos that we can use. So if you're not camera shy, come on out. We'd really like to have those. There are many, many volunteers at this event. Many of them you're going to see have these blue handkerchiefs, but there's a lot of people here to help everyone out. We work with an organization called Hands On Atlanta. So you see a lot of the volunteers at the registration desks. And we want to say how many. I want to thank every single person in this community who helped us make this conference and who's doing that right now. So let's hear for all the volunteers. AXYS tries to give you support 24/7. We have many in-person support groups. You'll see them listed there, and they're on our website. So I'd also like to give a big round of applause to all of our support group leaders. We also do Facebook support groups. Some are in conjunction with some of our in-person support groups. Some are just on their own, just a virtual support group. And thank you to everyone who helps run those groups, moderates those groups, and every single one of you who answers somebody else's question, because we're supporting each other 24/7, 365. And it means so much to someone to be able to ask a question and have our whole community rally around them to support them. So thank you, everyone, for doing that. AXYS also offers a helpline. It's a toll-free number where people can call or email, and our trained volunteers respond to your questions. You get paired with someone who's in a similar situation, and we listen, we empathize, and we try to provide you with resources. So I want to thank especially Myra and Ginny and every one of you, and Hannah, who's been answering all the conference questions, who work on that helpline and let people know that this is available to them. So thank you all. I want to talk a little bit about AXYS. It all started with a letter to Ann Landers. 30 years ago, a woman named Melissa said, I have a son with Klinefelter, and I have an 8-year-old, and I can't be the only one. So she asked her husband what she should do, and she said, you know what, I'm going to write to Ann Landers, because this was before the internet, remember? And she asked them, and this is the actual letter, she asked them to send a self-addressed stamped envelope. Those of you who are under 30 probably don't even know what that is. So that's how we used to do email last century. It was actually snail mail, and the stamp was probably 6 cents, right? Well, she did this and was amazed that she got 1,000 of those back. And that's how we got started. Today, there's over 6,000 families in our community. We serve not only those with XXY, but all the variations and X and Y variations. We have 12 clinics in our ACRC. We've just gotten a grant to pilot. Yeah, let's hear it for the ACRC. Yeah. We've gotten a grant, and again, I want to thank Ginny for her amazing grant writing, to pilot clinics for adults. So that's something we definitely want to be working toward. Yeah. We're transitioning from all volunteer to some paid staff. I'm one of them. I'm your first full-time staff member, so I definitely want to thank you all for that. And we have 2 part-time staff people, Robbie Miller, who directs our clinics, and Rick, who you all know, Rick Frith, who's in the booth, and many of you have emailed him. He's our communications manager. So Robbie and Rick. Our helpline serves over 600 families a year. We have over 100 videos on our YouTube channel, which are past conference sessions that we've recorded, also our webinars. So thank you to every single speaker who's ever presented our conference and who's done our webinars. That's resources that are available to you 24/7 wherever you are. And we've supported 20 research projects last year alone. So we love being able to connect the scientists and the families. So as part of our 30th anniversary, we're going to do a few things to celebrate that. One of them is we call it a 30-30 program. So if you have your cell phones out, what you can do is send a text to 484-228-7139 and just text GIVE. That's going to give you a link that you can then make a donation in honor of our anniversary. So we're asking if it's possible for you to give us a nice enduring support to make a monthly gift of $30 a month for the next 30 months. The other thing we're going to do for our anniversary is we're having a no-show gala in September, so look for that coming through your email. And we're going to have a silent auction as part of that. So think about maybe you want to donate some jewelry, maybe if you had a vacation home that you can give us a weekend at, gift certificates, things like that. So there's a there'll be a sign-up sheet outside, but also there's something for us all to think about, and we're going to have an online silent auction, which we've never done before. I want to tell you a story about one family, the Torsha family, who those of you who've been involved with AXYS probably know them a lot more than I do. One day, just a few weeks ago, I got the most amazing phone call. And this is TJ Torsha. It was from his parents who said, and his dad, Tony, said, you know, I work with this family foundation, and they would like to give you money. And I said, I am listening very much. Because we've been a part of their family, they kept us in their hearts, and they wanted to do what they could to help us. So when Tony was in a position to work with this Kozlowski Family Foundation, he enabled us to get a grant, and the result of that grant is $25,000. Thank you, TJ, and thank you, Gary. We're going to use that grant specifically to develop a Klinefelter syndrome continuing medical education program that'll be available online and for physicians to be able to access that. And that's just the beginning of where we're going to start with CME, but that's where we're going to get started. So thank you guys so much. Again, I just want to say how glad I am that you're here. And if you need anything, you just find me, and I'll do the best I can to help you. And then now we're going to switch over, and you can listen, and Rebecca Wilson will be our next speaker. Thank you all so much.